This is our 1983 Porsche 944, and it makes up one of two of the Hoonhouse fleet. And ever since my brother Ralph bought his dream car, we've been working non-stop to bring it back to its former glory, and make sure it runs the way it's supposed to. But as with any old car, you can never escape problems. And for the last 2 months, this car has been in our garage on ramps. And if we don't get this running in the next 2 hours, we're going to sell it. This is it. Do or die. Do you think we're gonna be able to get it done?
No.
That's the spirit. Let's do it. Now in the last video, we determined that the oil cooler is probably what's causing our issues with this car. So we got to work removing the oil cooler, which was such a big pain, and then we repaired all the gaskets and put it back in. But even though it was in, we couldn't get it to be aligned properly, which is detrimental to getting the oil pressure release valve in. So that's where we've left off. Now I'm gonna be real with you guys. The alignment process for this oil cooler involved a lot of loosening and tightening and putting in the alignment tool until the alignment got slightly better every single time. And we got to a point where we think we might have gotten it.
Like if that's not aligned properly and the engine blows up and I'm like dead in a forest.
It's aligned. That was what we spent more than 3 hours on yesterday. It's really crazy how sometimes something can seem like it's never gonna work, and if you just put it down and try it again the next day, it's easy.
Oh, and that only took 15 minutes.
Nice.
Yes.
Now that the oil cooler was finally aligned, we can lube up the oil pressure release valve, slide it in, and tighten it down. After we gave it a torque, we were starting to get pretty excited, but we had to remember that our time was running out. After that, we got the oil pressure sender back on, the wires, the protectors, and finally, the oil filter. And just like that, the oil cooler that we believe is the culprit of our oil and coolant mixing is fixed. Now for us to be able to tighten those final bolts of the oil cooler, we had to remove the exhaust manifold. And to remove the exhaust manifold, we had to remove this coolant line that sends warm coolant to your cabin. And that is what actually controls your heating. So without this pipe, we're not gonna get any heating, and it is cold in Canada. So let's get this back on. In the meantime, we got our oil cooler heat shield, which was in really bad shape, out of its week-long vinegar bath. And I think I witnessed the most satisfying thing I've ever witnessed in my life. After giving it one last clean, we had it looking in pretty good shape. That is looking so much better.
Yes. And then after one heat cycle, it'll be back to rusted.
Most likely.
Yes.
Well, regardless, we got the heat shield back on and got to work double teaming the exhaust manifold. And when we got that last bolt done, we were finally ready to move on to the final step. All right, it is getting dark. I'm starting to actually kind of get worried. What's our timer at? 42 minutes. Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? So on top of the oil that we put in, we are also gonna throw in a quart of ATF.
Yes. Thanks.
Because that is supposed to help break down all of the sludge and milkshake that's stuck in the engine, so that when we drain this oil, we're hopefully gonna get all of the bad stuff out. And pause the timer. So we are gonna stop working for now. It is getting dark, it is getting really cold, and we don't wanna make any mistakes because we can barely feel our hands and our brains. So we'll see you tomorrow. Our timer is set to 36 minutes. Let's get this car started, please. We need to get some coolant in this thing. I filled the car up with some distilled water, double checked that we didn't leave anything loose, and paid extra attention to the exhaust manifold bolts. After I checked the oil, we were ready. How much time is left?
Like 30 minutes. Yeah, we'll just like...
Almost too ready. Alright, the car is ready to start and we have 51 seconds left. Let's get this done. Without further ado, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's running! It's running! We did it! The Porsche is finally running. Now we're gonna run a head gasket test.
Oh man, that is a relief.
Cause that fluid didn't turn yellow, that means our head gasket is completely fine. which, even though our compression test was okay, was always a possibility.
Indeed.
And now, let's get this filthy oil, ATF, and milkshake out of this car. Alright, so our suction is actually not really working. Because of the amount of ATF and all of the extra junk that was in the oil is extremely thin right now, and the suction only works with thick oil. So we're gonna have to drain it. Wow, that is thin oil. That ATF must have really broken down that oil. Or maybe we didn't actually fix anything, and that's just coolant. Now, as we wait for the oil to fully drain, I can't help but notice something. Our coolant is gone yet again. At this point, we have put pretty much 8 liters in the car, and every time we put some more in, the coolant seems to disappear. Now, that is what was happening when the car broke down the first time, so it makes us think, did we even actually solve the problem?
Like a mocha.
Yeah, it kind of looks delicious. Now, is that the ATF, or is that more of our water mixing with our oil? Now, it could also be airlocks, because this car has been drained of coolant for a very long time, and as we put more coolant in and the engine runs, it's gonna start bubbling up all the trapped air, so it could be that. We don't know though.
After putting in some brand new oil, we cleaned up the garage because it was a mess, and we finally dropped the car on its 4 wheels.
You know, it is almost hilarious seeing this thing back down on its 4 wheels because it is so low to the ground, and that's what happens when you're more used to seeing a car on jack stands than on its 4 wheels.
That is sad.
Correct. All that's left is let's turn this thing on, check the oil level, check the coolant level, and hope that the months and months of work that we put into this car is gonna be worth it. Our level is right about on target, but the oil is still looking very, very thin. Now, it could be because we put 5W30 in, and maybe there's still a little bit of ATF and liquid in there. Mm-hmm. We did drain it all, and we did put 5 whole new liters of oil in, and we ran it. So I don't know where this liquid is coming from, and I don't know why the oil is so liquidy. On the bright side, our coolant hasn't gone anywhere. It's still at the maximum fill line, but we don't have a definitive answer yet. I really don't know what's going on with this car. And the only way to get that definitive answer is to drive this thing. Now, while Ralph gets the battery on, let me give you guys a quick update. So we have swapped all of the distilled water in the cooling system with coolant because it actually got a lot colder out, to the point where it actually snowed. And we didn't want all the water in the coolant system to freeze. That would be very bad.
That would be engine kaput part 4.
Now, because our engine failure happened while we were driving, the only way to find out if we really rebuilt it properly is to take it for a drive. Let's go. How long has it been since you've driven this car? September
25th.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. So, almost 2 months. This is gonna be fun.
That's normal.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oil pressure
It's
is...
at 5.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's get it up to operating temperature so that the thermostat opens up and we get the coolant flowing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds just as good as it used to.
Sounds just as... Yeah, I mean, I'm happy it hasn't exploded yet.
All right, oil pressure is holding between 4 and 5.
Yeah, that's good.
Good.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling?
I don't know, man. It feels kind of like it always does. I mean, the steering is still incredibly hard. The throttle feels pretty normal. All the electrics are working. The gear shift feels fine. I don't know. I mean, like, there's not really much that went wrong other than like the engine, and it seems to be working. So
Yeah, well, we need to get it warmed up and check the fluids and make sure nothing is mixing right now.
yeah.
All right, we're warm. Coolant level is still fantastic. Now, our coolant level being the same means that we're not losing any coolant into the engine, which is what the major issue was, and that is a great sign. Let's check the oil. All right, no sign of milk shaking. That just looks like oil.
Yeah. Other than that, like, there's a weird noise coming from the cabin, or the cockpit. I don't know. That is kind of new, but I think everything here seems to be working normally. So
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
The cabin could just be a vibration. Like, it could just be
Yeah.
something is loose in the back there and is vibrating. The thing about the back glass is that it is very loose,
Yes.
and I think when we jack the car up and down, it twists the entire chassis and probably loosens it even more.
yeah.
And what that means is after all of our hard work and nearly losing our minds, this piece of history is not having problems anymore.
So I think that means we finally fixed the Porsche. And just like I mentioned last time, we are turning this car into the ultimate rally machine, and that means we need to start modding it. And that's gonna happen in the next video.
Yes.
Until then, bye-bye. We fixed the car! We fixed the car!
All right, let's crash it. No!